Exum.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming before us. And I'd like to ask you if you could please, especially thinking about some of the conversations we've had earlier today, could you elaborate a bit on the need for behavioral health slash bedding and or treatment facilities for individuals with IDD and behavioral health issues and needs?
And thank you for that question. And the TCB I highly recommend it's recorded and it's on the CTN website. Last week we met and had a very comprehensive presentation from several providers across the state who provide these type of as we've learned, residential, I'm going to put the quote residential facilities or programming for individuals, as you described, with behavioral health needs and or developmental disabilities and diagnosed with autism. And what we learned is that there is not that type of service here in Connecticut that can service those particular clients with that comprehensive need. We do have a set of residential, again in quote, inpatient facilities, but again, they are not designed to really meet the needs of young people with not only behavioral health, but that developmental and autism disorder and or autism disorder. So it's more about that specialized type of programming, which is what the recommendation of the complex work group is recommending.
Thank you so much. And I really was saying this for the education of those around us because I work very closely with this. The other question I have, talking more on the JJPOC side, is I'd just like to ask you about public transportation and the impact that might have if we have this bill go through.
Yeah, so as I said before, my name is Olusegun Olubode, and I'm a high school student in Hartford Public Schools. Currently in Hartford Public Schools, there's a pilot program in place which makes it so that students at my school specifically have access to 30-day CT Transit bus passes. This was secured through a House Bill 5523 in 2024, and it has been very, very important for students within the Hartford community specifically. Over a third of households in Hartford don't own a single vehicle, and so in order for students to engage within the school community, participate after school in sports and like robotics club, just things that happen outside of the regular school day, the city bus is their only means of doing that. And as someone who also uses CT Transit to engage socially and partake in social activities within Hartford, and whose parents work very frequently, so they can't really pick me up from places, the city bus is a need. It's the means with which students attend school. So if you live within that 2-mile radius, your only option is a city bus or walking. And for a lot of young people, that's simply not feasible. It's very dangerous and very difficult. It's the way that students are able to engage extracurricularly and develop those really important connections that they need to a pro-social community like a school. So that's all I'll say for the impact. It's a need. It's a need for students to engage within their community and to access their education.